Hello viewers, welcome to another weekend of NgeeSuperKitchen. I said today I'm going back to a big basis, cooking something that is healthy, full of protein, at the same time delicious, is beans. So I want you to stay tuned while I put you through the ingredients I'm going to be using to make the beans. I will be using, like I mentioned before, I'll be using the Blackeye beans, and for the sauce that I'll be using to make it, and in the beans, I'll be cooking the beans just simply using red onions, spring onions, and I'm going to be using, it is optional if you don't want it, I'm going to be using just quarter of the beef stock. That means as it is 1 year, and then I'll be sharing, it's 2 cubes in one. I'll be taking half of one of it, which is quarter of this. I'll be using quarter of this in the beans, and then a little, just pinch of salt in it for it, just a little, because the sauce will be going into it. And the sauce is just simple. I'll be using the you can use any oil of your choice. I like to just use, today I'm using the organic rapeseed oil. It's just a little, because the beans that I'm making is a non-palm oil beans, so I don't really want it to have oil. So basically almost like oilless beans. So the only little oil that's gonna be there is the little maybe tablespoon of organic rapeseed oil I'm going to be using. And I'll be going, the ingredient I'll be going in the little sauce, simple sauce I'm making, stir sauce I'm making to stir into the beans will be, I'll be using the vine tomatoes. I'll be using also the red and white onion. I'll be using the vegetable stock. I'll be using just one scotch bonnet. I'll be using the ginger. I'll make it mixed. You can make your paste if you want, or chopped anyhow. I'll be using the garlic. I'll be using the sweet ramiro pepper, red and yellow bell pepper, minced herb, and that is what I'll be using to make the sauce. So I will also be using the dry, you can see that, the dried whole chili, and I'll be taking some of this and then I'll roast it, blend it, and then put it into the sauce. So I'd like you to stay tuned while we cook together. Keep subscribing to my channel, keep liking and spread the good news. Tell people about NgeeSuperKitchen. So now let's start cooking. I'll start by roasting the dry chili, and once that is done, I will blend it and scoop out the one that I'm going to use and set aside. And I've already chopped the fresh tomatoes, and now I'm gonna blend the bell pepper and set aside. Then in a small saucepan, I have added half tablespoon of the rapeseed oil and saute the onion. I'm going to allow this onion to fry until it is aromatic and golden brown. There is a particular taste I want of this sauce, which is the reason why I want the onion to be brownish. So yeah, I'm adding here the finely chopped scotch bonnet. I'll stir that in, and I will be adding now, I've added the chopped tomatoes and the blended dried chili, and also the minced. Adding here is the minced ginger and the garlic paste that I blended myself. I blended it not too smooth because I want that crunchy paste and nice. So I will stir this in, cover it to cook for about a minute and then add the blended bell pepper. Once I add the blended bell pepper, I will cover it to cook for about 2 minutes and then be adding the minced herb and the vegetable cube. I will add in the salt and stir this in well. Cover it to cook for about 10 to 12 minutes on a medium heat. And once this is cooked for about that, I'll check it and also allow it to fry again for another 5 minutes, and then it is ready. Because I want a kind of burnt taste for the tomato sauce. In another saucepan, I have already washed the beans, and here I've added the spring onions, the onion, and the beef cube, and a pinch salt. I've added water. The water that I added here is on the same level with the beans. As the beans cook, I will continue to toss it. And add water bit by bit when it's needed. The reason is that to avoid the beans overcooking or getting too soggy. So in order to avoid that, depending on your choice and the texture of the beans you want, so the best way is to continue to add water from side bit by bit. Here now I have added the sauce to the beans because the beans is ready, and to finish cooking the beans to achieve the texture and taste that I want from the beans. Oh, the aroma is so delicious. So I will now stir in the sauce with the beans so that the ingredient from the sauce and the beans will marry well together. I will cover this now and reduce the heat on a lower heat to cook for another 5 to 7 minutes, after which the beans is ready. You can see how colorful it looks. It is not too watering. It is not that hard. It is soft, but at the same time, it is single. The beans appear single, but yet very soft. The sauce, tasty, delicious sauce, have been married well with the beans, and the ingredient have sucked in properly. And I tell you, this is really, really tasty. And the aroma is... Did you hear that? That is how sweet the aroma is, and very tasty the beans. The beans can be served immediately or allow it to sit for about 1 to 2 minutes to get that very good looking beans. In Nigeria, the Igbos enjoy these beans with what is called agidi. In Igbo, the Yoruba call it eko, or your pap, or your custard, your roasted, boiled or fried yam, roasted, boiled or fried plantain, or with your bread slice, or the real agege, that is the real deal. You fried fish, like you say me, serve it. So enjoy your beans the way you like. Until next time, thank you for cooking with me, and goodbye.